A big question I get from people who have started their personal chef business and started doing meal prep services is how long should it take? Am I taking too long? Or even it's taking forever. How do I get faster? That's what I'm going to help you with today. Hey there, Chef Shelly here. I've had a personal chef business for over 15 years. And when I'm not cooking for my own clients, I'm here helping passionate cooks start their own personal chef business so that you can get paid to do what you love, cook on your own terms. If that sounds like something you're interested in, be sure to hit subscribe, ring the little bell so that you never miss one of my weekly videos. When it comes to a meal prep service cook day and how long it's taking you, I hear a lot from people who have just started, who think that their cook day is taking too long, who want to go faster, don't know why it's taking so long, and just really want to get more efficient. I'm going to give you a lot of tips and advice on how you can help make your cook day better, faster. And at the end, I'm going to let you in on my super secret #1 tip for finishing a client cook day as fast as possible when it's really important you get out of the client's house fast. So stay tuned for that. The #1 thing that you can do to get faster is practice. I can give you tips and tricks all day long, but nothing is going to get you more efficient than practice. Talk to any professional, and that is the foundation of the great experience that they have, right? One of the first things that you can do when you're preparing for a meal prep service day, AKA doing a personal chef service, is plan it out in advance. You need to get a plan. I'm not talking about a detailed minute by minute plan. That's not what I'm talking about. But if you know ahead of time what you need to start cooking, what you need to set out, maybe you need to get something defrosting, maybe you need to get the oven preheated. It's a lot better if you look through what you're cooking and make a little note about that ahead of time than it is if you get to the client's house, it's time to start cooking. And that's when you're like, okay, what am I doing here? That is just going to slow you down. And two, there's a big difference when you're doing the planning at home, on your couch, in your comfies, compared to that time that you have in the client's home that you want to make as fast and efficient as possible, right? The second thing I recommend that you do is to get organized first, right? Come in, take your recipes if you're printing recipes. If you're not, at least just set up a separate section for each one. Get your dry ingredients out and put them with your recipes. Just starting out with a little bit of this organization is going to make it much faster for you as you're going. Because remember, this may go against something that you've heard your whole entire life, but generally speaking, when you are doing a personal chef service, AKA meal prep service, doing 100% of the prep or 100% of the mise en place first is not actually the most time efficient way to go. If you do that, a lot of times you're going to have dishes that are cooking and you're going to have downtime. And that is the last thing you want. You want to, again, start with that organized plan. If you know you need to start something defrosting, you know you need to get the oven preheating, you get your stuff set out and organized. Then you do prep on the first dish. And when it's going, then you get the second one started. And then they're both cooking at the same time. Again, not doing full mise en place, but getting the prep going like that can help you be more efficient and go faster. Another thing you'll want to do is make sure that your cookware is organized. If you're cooking for a client where you're having to take a lot of your own equipment, you don't want to have to keep going back to your crate that you carried it in or whatever every time you need something. Just like if the client has everything you You don't want to have to go back to the pantry 1,000 times. You don't want to have to go back to the refrigerator that's out in the garage 1,000 times. You want to make sure that all the tools and things that you need are ready to go and organized. Again, near those recipes if you print out your recipes. This one is going to sound kind of funny, but especially for safety, not even talking about speed and efficiency. Your knives should be sharp, and anyone pro will tell you that you probably need to refine that a little bit every time you cook with them. Sharp knives not only cut faster and more efficiently, but they are safer too, which is the most important thing. Something else that you might want to try that helps you, again, when we're talking about doing prep, is that if you have 3 dishes that require carrots, grated carrots, you don't need to necessarily do it one at a time for each dish. If you know they all need to be grated, just grate them at one time, and then you can measure out what you need as you go. That also can help you. Or if you're preparing something like onions, where you know you're going to have to be washing your cutting board in between every time, you might batch all your onions at one time, even if some is sliced, some is diced, some is wedged, and then you can wash your cutting board and move on to the next thing. Another thing that might help, if you have the type of client who wants you to choose their menu, this doesn't happen very often, but it can happen. Or this might be also a focus of your recipe collection, is to have a big collection of one-pot meals or sheet pan meals or things like that, where it can really save on cooking and cleanup time. I'm sure you've heard it before. I have a whole video on it. I'll link to right here. Maybe it's over there. I'll link to the video so that you can get to it easily. A pressure cooker. The beauty of the pressure cooker is that it makes food faster than traditional type of braising. And that can be a huge deal if you have a dish that will take hours of cook time, like a braise, short ribs, roast, things like that. Pressure cookers just cook food much faster than traditional methods, and they make them even more delicious because they're cooked under high pressure. So again, for more information about that, I'll put a link to that video. Now, you may be a purist who is anti-microwave, but there are a lot of quick tasks that can be done in the microwave that can save you from anything from using another pot, dirtying another dish, or just taking more time. That can be anything from melting butter to frizzling shallots, believe it or not. So definitely take into consideration what you might be able to use that microwave for. Next, I don't say this all the time, but there are those instances where it is worth it to use a food processor and deal with having to clean it, which is such a pain in the butt, am I right? But if you have a ton of stuff that you need to prep to the point where chopping it all, processing it all by hand, by knife, will take exponentially longer than cleaning the food processor, it might be worth bringing one with you if the client doesn't have it, to be able to grate a large amount of food, to chop, or anything like that. A food processor can help you go faster. My last tip is clean as you go. This can help you a little bit and save you some time. Definitely if it's getting to the point where you don't have enough space to efficiently be what you're doing because you have some dirty stuff in your way. But honestly, the super secret tip I have for you when it comes to cleaning is, if there is a reason that you need to get through your cook day as fast as possible, something you can do is use all your own equipment, bring a large Rubbermaid crate, line it with a plastic trash bag, and as everything is cooled down, scrape it clean and just put it in the Rubbermaid and take it home to clean at your house. That way, when it comes to you're done cooking, food is chilled down, you've packaged it and put it away in the refrigerator for the client, you can do a quick wipe down sweep of the kitchen and be able to leave instead of having to deal with a massive pile of dishes, which, as we all know, can be the slowest thing when it comes to cooking. So these are some strategies that can help your cook day go faster. But again, at the end of the day, the thing that is going to make you better and faster is that practice. If you want to get started practicing your meal prep service, get my free guide below on how to do meal prep services for clients. It'll walk you through everything from choosing the recipes, making the lists, doing the shopping, the preparing, and the packaging so you can get that practice in. Because I'm telling you, the clients are out there and they're hungry for what you're cooking.